Systems matter. Tools matter. A plan and a path forward, it matters. If you're going to be a successful strategist and business coach, helping businesses win by growing their profitability, by growing their revenues, you must have a structured path forward. That's what we have inside our community in our system at Business Coach Mastery. We call it our Jumpstart 12 operating system. It's a systematic growth for businesses. I don't care what the size of the business is. It's a proven framework. It's super comprehensive. It's beyond ambiguity. You cannot, as a coach, give ethereal advice. That's not coaching at all. You must have specific, clear strategies and actionable steps, okay? And then concrete, profitable results. You need to be able to lay out a plan and a process that shows how that business can grow both their profits and their revenues, okay? And so that's what we do with our Jumpstart 12 tools. I'm looking right here as I'm sharing my screen. These are the different 12 modules. Strategies is what they are, business strategies. These are foundational principles, okay? So if you're on our coaching team, I want you to think about it this way. Perhaps you're taking a peek at joining our coaching team. This will give you some insight or further insights of what you've seen upon how these strategies work in harmony together. Think about it like this. Look at some of the most successful businesses, Walmart, McDonald's, Apple, and so on. What are they doing? They're deploying specific strategies that a roofing company, the pest control company, the pool company, whatever, the local pizzeria, they all can do the same thing. The unfortunate truth is they just don't really understand how to get focused on a strategy. Why? They're typically very task driven. They're spinning a lot of different plates. We come in to help them stay focused. That's why we call this process a focused method inside Business Coach Mastery. We want to master these modules and master these strategies in helping businesses win. So that's why we call it an operating system, because here's how it works. You want to make sure that when you're working with a business, that you're doing it one strategy at a time, one step at a time. That gives them a clear path, but we're not getting overwhelmed. We're not, doing this on one session, that on another. No, we're going to have a systematic approach that gives them a true plan to go forward. Okay. So with that said, without systems, growth is absolutely, it's cluttered, right? And so are results for that matter. When a business lacks a defined system, they're essentially navigating without a map. All right. This creates inconsistent results, difficulty measuring progress, frustration and wasted resources, and an inability to scale successful initiatives. Okay, this is a transformational part, having a complete system. And if you're coaching with us, you want to, in your mindset, wrap your mind around this idea of operating system. Okay, it transforms uncertainty into a structured path with specific, measurable outcomes that build momentum. Let me give you an example. Let's say that you're working with a business and you're going to help them find expenses that is just wasting, they're wasting money just in their expenses. They're not either paying attention to it well or whatever. So what a lot of businesses will do, they'll make just a very fast, let's just cut this out, cut that out. Let's stop doing this. And then they move on with their life. That's not strategic. It's not enough. And they're going to miss significant opportunities. So if we are taking a business through cutting their costs, we're going to walk them through one step at a time through the strategy. Here's an example. If I was working, let's say that I'm the coach and you are the business owner, we're going to start in cutting costs. Step number one, looking at our overhead, which is we're going to audit current suppliers and vendors for the products and services that you purchase daily, weekly, monthly, or annually, and potentially renegotiate agreements. All right. And so when you have a little drop down, this is the coach's view, by the way, not the client's, but the coach's view. This is what I'm going to kind of walk a client through in helping them to do this. Now, here's a really cool thing as well. Let's say that we're going to call some of these folks to potentially renegotiate the contract. And you may say, well, what should I say? Well, you also then can come over here and use our AI tool and say, create a script or a framework in calling XYZ company, because here's what we're wanting to do. And it'll give you a solid framework to be able to work through, so you're not having to do it on your own ever. With all the tools and resources. So if you're working with us and you're a coach, make sure you're using your AI tool to give you scripts, to give you frameworks, to give you function that will reduce friction and increase speed in getting things accomplished. So there's an example, and I can mark this as in progress when we're not done through it, but we don't need to know anything other than step number 1 right now, because we're not going to go to the next step until step number 1 is complete. Why does this matter? Stepping stones. We're not overwhelmed. Simple plan, path forward. And then when we get done, for now, that strategy is implemented into the business, and we've taken a fine-tooth comb to get it done, okay? Systems make strategy tangible. This is beyond good ideas. We deliver proven, implementable strategies that directly impact profitability, not just motivational talks. Man, that's a big thing in coaching. And to be very fair, I have a lot of leadership training background for me. And so it's very possible, 15 plus years ago, I probably was way more motivational and encouraging, which we need to do that a little bit. But at the same time, we have to have a plan for profitability. Side note, businesses close their doors for one reason and one reason only: cash flow, not being profitable enough. That's why we deliver a plan to that very thing. Modular frameworks, structured models like our profit acceleration plan and our financial training creates a complete business playbook. Measurable outcomes. Every system component ties to specific business metrics, lifetime values, profit margins, operational efficiency. You need to be able to show this type of effort with a business on where they are, where they're going to go, by implementing key strategies. The difference between giving advice and providing systems is the difference between telling someone where to go and then giving them a complete roadmap with turn-by-turn directions. Hey, you should cut some costs and cut some fat out of the business. You're going to do better off. Or let me walk you through step by step on doing this correctly, because there is a right way, there is a wrong way, and a half-baked way. We don't want to do 2 and 3. We want to do it the right way. Step 1, do this. Step 2, do that, as you saw a moment ago. All right? And so, like the financial training, for instance, perhaps they don't understand the profit and loss statement. It's actually pretty common that a lot of businesses don't understand their numbers. Why? Well, many of them, they wanted to get out of the corporate world. They were tired of, driving to the 9 to 5. They wanted to own their own destiny. So they may not have a lot of financial training or business background. We've solved that with the MBA style content that you can deliver to them 2 ways. You can enroll them into your online business academy. Yes, you have your own very own white labeled online business academy. You can enroll them and walk them through, or they'll walk them themselves through rather, legitimate MBA style financial training to understand the 3 numbers that matter the most and to fully understand a P&L. Now, you may say, as a coach and strategist, I don't even understand a P&L. We've got you covered. You're going to learn this as well. As you learn it over time, you're going to be able to teach it on your own, because we're teaching it to you. But you got the choice. Enroll them. They can go through it on their own. You can learn to do it yourself and teach on your own. These types of modules, by the way, are also great content that you can provide, like a workshop. You can, the 3 most important numbers to successfully improve profitability in your business. And all you're going to do is literally produce or use this content for your workshop. All right. Lastly, as we are moving through things here, being specific builds trust. Vague promises don't. When you're able to say to a prospect, we're going to identify 3 to 5 hidden profit leaks using our proprietary process and fix them using specific business strategies, it immediately separates you from all other coaches. All right. With Jumpstart 12 operating system, you're going to be able to articulate a clear, repeatable path to profitability. Very important as one of our coaches to understand that. Demonstrate specific processes rather than making vague claims. Again, you don't want to be vague. We've said that a few times here. And then you want to build immediate credibility through methodical approaches and show prospects exactly what success looks like at each milestone. This is our assessment tool. that we utilize when we're working with a prospect in the very beginning, showing them what's possible in your business, okay? If you're on our coaching team, this is the linchpin for conversions. Closing your clients, you need to get really, really good with this whole process. Go through our training multiple times until it's just that whole warm knife and butter kind of thing where it's super, super smooth. But here's what we're doing ultimately is we're giving visual representation of what's possible for a business. For example, this business is doing $720,000. We've gone through 4 strategies. That's it. To show them what small incremental percentage increases look like in multiple business strategies, all right? And just like compound interest, when you've got one strategy, compound on another, that's how you get what we call profit acceleration, all right? So oftentimes in growing a successful business coaching practice, you don't really need more leads. Of course, we have to have leads and prospects, but you can have as many as you want, but if you don't have a compelling presentation, that's not going to matter. This assessment tool is that compelling presentation, but it also addresses the issues of what's going on. So in this example here, we've improved through 4 strategies, the revenues from $720,000 to $133,000, which is a $113,000 increase. This business's profits right now are sitting at $72,000. Once we implement these strategies, we have the opportunity to more than double the profits, going from $72,000 to $161,000. All right. And here's what you need to know. We're going to show them how to do that and to get it done. In this case, this example, if we were to sit down and go step by step through all 4 of these strategies, we're going to do this around 20 weeks or less, give or take. Everyone's speed is a little bit different, but this shows them a plan. It shows them a path. It gives you content that you don't have to create or fool with because it's done for you. That's why the focus method system is completely done. But you've got to get good at articulating and vision casting what's possible, why it's possible, and how it's going to happen. And you're able to accomplish that in this particular presentation utilizing our software. So there you go. Proven steps, proven steps, proven steps. Specific, simple, measurable. So when you sit and you walk into a relationship with a prospect, you have a complete plan to show them, let me show you how you can improve profitability and accelerate it in a way that you have probably don't think is possible. We're not making stuff up, by the way. These strategies have been around forever and a day, but we want to show them, once they're implemented, how success can come about for them. All right, there you go. Hope that helps. Until next time, take care.